Welcome back, everyone, to the APP Indianapolis Open. Lauren McLaughlin, Dominic Catalano with you here courtside for another men's pro doubles match. We're in for a treat. It's going to be a good one. We have Althoff Merchant and Zane Navratil. They're going to be on the far end starting us off. They are our number 3 seed here in our men's bracket. They are taking on John Cincola and Johnny Andrews, our number 6 seed here today in men's pro doubles. We're going to be getting going here momentarily. As you look at that bracket, Dom, rock us through.
So those are our quarterfinal matches. We're through one of them, Nunnery and Stone advancing to the semifinals. They will play the winner of this match, either Navratil Merchant or Andrews and Cincola. And you see there the other 2 quarterfinal matches about to start. But we got a great quarterfinal coming up right now on championship court. Ready to go with Althoff Merchant to serve.
All right, quick side off. Side off.
That's one.
That's a new.
That's one.
What's that?
That's
I
one.
just made it up, guys.
That's
It's
one.
a new thing. Side out.
Oh,
Andrews
that's what that is.
serving. Y'all knew what I meant. One 1-0 here in game 1.
So 3 of these guys are very familiar with each other. John Cincola, Zane Navratil, and Althoff Merchant play a lot of rec play together before tournaments. So very familiar with each other. And Johnny Andrews, most of us are familiar with as well. So
Oh, we got a little Cincola, lives in Illinois. Andrews, Florida. Merchant, Kentucky. And Navratil, Wisconsin.
that's a good leave from Merchant. He had the ATP covered from Cincola, but let it bounce, and it bounces a couple inches short of the sideline. Oh, great hands from Johnny Andrews right there, winning that hands battle with Zane Navratil.
0-3-2.
Oh, that's a great job from Althoff Merchant. Letting that ball bounce, gaining his composure, stepping outside the sideline, and putting that ball away.
And they're on the board, 1-3-2. See how effective that Navratil chainsaw serve can be here in our men's doubles day. Very effective yesterday in singles.
That's a good shot there from Navratil, jumping the sideline. The backhand Ernie from the forehand side. So wind seems to be at the back of Navratil and Merchant right now, as that return from Johnny Andrews died. Looked like he hit it about a mile. Wow, that's a good shot. Navratil, just a reaction off of Andrews' paddle. Almost cut that to the sideline. It died. Cincola couldn't reach it. Good third shot drive there from Andrews.
We definitely have the wind picking up, as you mentioned, Dom. It's starting to get a little breezy, a little gusty. It hasn't been quite yet this morning, so that will start to be a factor.
That's a good attack from Cincola from a low position, but the key to that is not doing too much with it that Merchant will be able to let that go out, but just enough with it that he's forced to play it. And a point for Cincola and Andrews and a lead of 5-2. That's all tough we know right there.
Oh, yeah. Over-under on how many chest bumps,
So that's,
flexing,
that's one.
yells.
I'm going to
it's all
say
combined.
at least 3 or 4 more.
I say like 12.
All right, there's one return a serve miss off of the Navratil serve.
Ooh, gets a hold of that one.
If
Hits the fence.
If anyone can handle that Navratil serve, it's going to be John Cincola because he sees it the most.
Theoretically.
Yes. In theory. It's a good lead there from Andrews. Merchant had the ATP, ends up trying to cut it too tight, hits the post, and a 7-3 lead here for Cincola and Andrews. Yeah, that's a good read there from Navratil on the flip from Andrews.
Normally a tough spot up there, Dom, at that right shoulder, but Navratil quick like a cat.
Wow, that's some great hands by Andrews on the one before that, just to get a paddle on that and get it back over. Let's see if Navratil and Merchant can get back in this match here, or this first game. Down 4. Great penetrating dink from John Cincola, pushing Navratil all the way to the sideline, kitchen line tee, causing an error.
Merchant steps out of the way and gives Navratil free reign of the court for that rally. Gets him the point, 4-7-2.
All right, so it's shaping up to be Navratil and Merchant when they can control the dink, they want Merchant to be going at Andrews because he's winning more of that. But when it's Cincola and Navratil going back and forth, Cincola and Andrews are winning more. So it's going to be who can get into their set and what they want sooner.
Definitely some wind gusting here, sort of cross court from right to left as you're looking at the screen. We have a timeout here from Navratil and Merchant. Oh, no, it was Andrews and Cincola. Excuse me. I thought you said reserving team.
Yeah,
All
so
right.
Andrews and Cincola taking the timeout here.
And speaking of John Cincola, we have a little player profile sponsored by Head Pickleball. Hails out of Moline, Illinois. Currently he's in Crystal Lake, where he is a tennis and pickleball teaching pro there. Plays for Team Engage, 40 years young, 6 feet tall. You can see his APP tour record there. 12-8 in men's doubles. He's number 13 currently on the APP standings list with a UTPR of 5.495. All right, we're getting back into it. Andrews and Cincola serving 7-4-2.
So this is the matchup that Merchant and Navratil want here. The disagreement on the call, Andrews and Cincola both agreed that it was out. Navratil and Merchant did not think it was out, but referee cannot overrule because she did not see it, so it is an out call.
Eight, 4-2. Cincola and Andrews just real fired up, feeling good, feeling confident. Navratil and Merchant haven't quite been able to get into a groove here yet this game.
Off the net. The worst thing that happened right there. And now they got a game point on their paddle here.
And game one going to Cincola and Andrews, 11-4. So we're going to switch ends here for game two. Navratil and Merchant, I think they just need to settle down a little. They're just not able to play quite their game.
Yeah, they need to get into that Merchant Andrews cross-court dink battle. That's what's going to be the difference, I believe, for them to get back in this. Yeah, they lost one late there on that cross-court battle. Merchant dumped one in the net, but I think in the end that's going to be the battle that they want to go at as opposed to the cross-court with Cincola and Navratil. Because what's happening if Navratil and Cincola go cross-court, if it's just left up just a bit for Cincola to do anything with, he's able to attack that and start that firefight, and that firefight's usually going their way right now.
Indeed, Cincola and Andrews will be on the far end here for game two. Navratil and Merchant on the near end. And I want to, of course, give a special shout out to Patrick Sullivan Jr. of Jigsaw Health, the official hydration sponsor of the APP Tour. Looks like he is up and awake over on the West Coast in Arizona.
About
I know,
time.
right?
About time.
Should have set that alarm for 5 a.m.
Get up.
Big shout out to him and Ashley. All right. Let's see if Merchant and Navratil can kind of rattle Andrews and Cincola, who are just rolling currently, keeping up that momentum from game 1. Zero, 1-1 here in game 2. Merchant serving.
Now the serve coming into play early here in game 2.
Could see it on the screen, just kind of jump over to the side. Andrews not able to handle it on that one.
Some nice ATP from Johnny Andrews there, letting that ball travel. That ball actually skipped. Merchant did cut that, but it skips there at the end. Gives Andrews enough room to go ATP there. Yeah, Merchant and Navratil just look a little out of sorts at the moment.
It's not quite on the same wavelengths right now.
No. And Andrews and Cincola, the complete opposite. They're hitting on all cylinders right now. A rare miss in this match from Johnny Andrews there, but what you're seeing is Johnny Andrews be the setup man for John Cincola right now. Andrews just playing everything, keeping it in play, doing what he needs to do, and Cincola there to speed it up and create that pace and that pressure.
One, 2-1. Ooh, here in game 2.
There it was there. Cincola just creating that pressure. And Andrews just being that wall, that steady wall right now for him.
Just in sync right now.
Yeah, that combo is working really well right now.
They're hoping to say bye, bye, bye to Navratil and Merchant.
Yeah.
Did you see what I did there?
I did. That was nice. Oh, the tomahawk from Merchant.
We have not seen a lot of fired up Merchant this match.
Oh, I got an all day out of Merchant. There it was.
I'm definitely losing the over-under right now.
Merchant and Cincola sharing a kind of a laugh right there.
3-1-2. Oh, my.
Oh, that's a free point there for Cincola and Andrews. That ball was way out.
I thought I was going to hit the fence, and then Merchant hit it.
He wanted that tomahawk bad.
Ooh. He just didn't know when to say no, I guess.
That's a good job there. They had Andrews back and kept him back.
1-4-1. Navratil and Merchant need to put something together here.
It is 1-4-1, but it feels like
I
Andrews and
know.
Cincola have such a bigger lead, but they don't. I mean, all Navratil and Merchant need to do here is get a couple in a row here, and they'll be all right. There's one.
Two, 4-2.
Oh, that's too good. Those hands from Cincola right there. The drop shot had Merchant on his heels.
Oh, my. All right. Nice rally.
Great job there on both sides. Cincola and Andrews playing some good defense. A couple overheads there that they got back from Merchant and Navratil. But just a little too much Navratil there with the overhead put away. Oh, chicken wing. We talked about that earlier, Lauren. And there it was, Navratil getting on that chicken wing or that right shoulder of John Cincola, creating the error. Oh. Merchant getting fired up here. Right back in this second game. All square at 4.
They finally lit the fire.
They did. What do we call him? The Merchanator?
We sure do. Nice leave from Navratil.
See, and now it's, okay, so now Johnny Andrews wants to continue to go cross court with Althoff. Merchant, he needs to flatten that out, reset that ball, go to Zane. Let Zane try and get in it with Cincola, because that hasn't been the matchup that's been going well for them. And right on cue, Cincola inserts himself and gets that point for the side out.
4-5-1. The wind gusting a little bit.
Merchant with the all-day call. And it's true right now. He's heating up with that cross-court dink. He's in a zone here. And so he's going right back to it. And look at Merchant running to the other side to get the ball because they want to get going here.
All right, timeout here from Andrews and Cincola. Speaking of the Merchanator, get a little profile here. Look at that yell. He's full-blown screaming right there. Hails out of Mumbai, India. Currently in Owensboro, Kentucky, though. Plays for Team Onyx. 47 years young. You can see his APP Tour record. He's 15-10 in men's doubles right now. Number 15 on the APP standings list. UTPR of 5.676. And a reminder that standings list, it's not a rankings list. It is a standings list for the APP Tour. A culmination of all of their points from every APP tournament that they have played in, if they've gotten points, depending how well they've done, and that gets all added up and puts them on the standings list. So all these players looking to add to those points. See our weather conditions today. Another sunny mid-80s day here in Zionsville, Indiana. Winds about 11 miles per hour with some gusts. So beautiful day.
Good timeout there from Cincola, and Andrews coming right out of that timeout, forcing a second server. And that's what they needed right there to stop that momentum of Merchant and Navratil. Yeah, too good. So what's happening right now is Merchant's he's playing that role that Andrews played in the first game for Cincola as setup man. Merchant's just setting up Navratil right now for the putaways. There it goes right back to Andrews every time. And I'm like, there it is. That's what I want to see out of Andrews. Right there. And that changed everything right there after he flattened up that dink to Navratil, and then Navratil goes to Cincola, and that changes it right there. So it's the game within the game here. See who can execute better.
Oh, Merchant floats that up much too high. Pays the price. 5-7-1 here in game two.
I understand.
Hate to see it.
Yeah, I understand Navratil wants to take that, but it's just a little too far. He's got Merchant coming up, and he can handle that. Let him take that, block that, and just go from there. Yeah, it's too good. There it is. And that's that Merchant to Andrews, and Andrews makes the mistake, and Navratil's there for the put away.
6-7-2. Don't see that too often out of Merchant.
Now, especially on that cross court, that's his shot.
We're tied up at sevens here in game two. Navratil and Merchant trying to take this to a game three.
Navratil getting the better end of that for the side out. Way to stop that there. Nice attack there from Zane Navratil to give them the lead here, 8-7. Oh, way to find the hole from Navratil right there. That ball from the other court comes in about 5 seconds too late.
9-7-1.
Wow, how momentum can change so fast in this game.
Got a game point here for Navratil and Merchant, looking to go to 3. And a wise timeout from Cincola and Andrews. Little jigsaw hydration break. It is starting to toast up here already this morning. As we mentioned, it's going to be mid-80s. I think going to feel like closer to 90. So it is a toasty day. Definitely need to stay hydrated. Get in the shade when you can. Stay cool.
How do you stay hydrated?
I don't know. Do you have any ideas?
Maybe.
I particularly like things that have like a tang flavor to them.
I think like
and they're orange in color.
some pickleball cocktail. That would
Is
work.
that orange in color and a little tang tasting?
That would work.
Perfect.
That would work.
Done. Get a little pickleball cocktail from Jigsaw Health. I know a lot of these players out here are definitely having that in their water bottles. Gotta really stay up on the electrolytes and replenish since you are sweating a lot on these toasty days. See a lot of wardrobe changes from everybody as well today. We're back from that jigsaw hydration break. Navratil serving here, game point. And there it is. So we are going to a game 3, folks. We'll see who can keep or take back the momentum for game 3 here, as we have split now. Andrews and Cincola taking game 1, 11-4. Navratil and Merchant, 11-7. Game 2, of course, for game 3, we will switch ends at 6. So both teams will have a shot on both sides. What are we looking to see here in game 3?
It was a tale of two totally different games. You saw Cincola and Andrews in game 1 come out and just control the whole game. And they looked like they were just on fire and ready to take game 2.
Looking at our bracket here as well, we are coming up next. We're going to have the J.W. Johnson, Dylan Frazier taking on Jocelyn, Devillier, and Patrick Smith. As they move through their bracket, they will face off next here on Championship Court. And we'll see them up after this one, just letting you guys know what's coming up next. But first, a showdown in game 3 here. Althoff Merchant, Zane Navratil starting off here in game 3 on the far end. Johnny Andrews and John Cincola on the near end. They will switch ends at 6, whoever gets there first. And we'll see who moves on in the upper portion of the bracket and who will drop down to the consolation bracket and fight their way back. Merchant starting us off, 0-0-2.
Gets the roll there off the net, but Navratil and Merchant were in charge of that whole point there, and it was because it was the Merchant-Andrews matchup. Oh, payback right there. Payback instantly off the net.
Zero, 1-1.
I like it there. John Cincola just taking over that whole point.
All right, just like game 1. Started off Cincola and Andrews. Seeming to just kind of, outside of that, seem to be hitting a little groove here. We'll see if they can keep it going on second server here.
Complete miss hit by Johnny Andrews there. It's all right.
Whoopsies. See that little variation of the chainsaw that Cincola uses.
Great return there from Merchant, basically dotting that back baseline. Yeah,
Andrews yelling about that.
The Navratil serve has frustrated Andrews just a little. Enough that he's made
yesterday
about
in
3
singles, it was very tough for him to handle. So.
A little too much there from Merchant, just controlling that. And again, the sooner Cincola and Andrews can figure out to stop going to that point right there, or that spot, I think the better off they'll be. I want to see Andrews flatten that out to Navratil a little bit more. That'll include Cincola like here. And that's what I'm talking about. They just have to recognize that right now. That's it. There it is. Looks over at us and goes, all day.
What a showman.
Yeah, but that's it. That's the matchup they want. And they're going to get that pretty much 80% of the time if they stay in that. But Cincola and Andrews got to make the adjustment.
3-2-2 here in game 3. Four, 2-2. See if Merchant gets what he wants again.
Wow, he got it again. It's
Methodical.
yeah, it's just got to change. I want to see Andrews flatten that out and get Cincola involved. The more he keeps going, the more it's just heating Merchant up, and it's just not working right now.
Yeah, we have a jigsaw hydration break called by Andrews and Cincola. You can see them there chatting. Definitely a little strategy session of how to change things up or mix it up. Yeah, I think Merchant's kind of hypnotizing almost Andrews into that dink battle. And it's like Andrews just needs to move it around just a little bit more.
Yes, absolutely.
Otherwise, Merchant's sucking you into exactly what he wants you to do.
Yeah, and that's what Andrews needs to change up right here. And again, if I'm putting my coaching hat on, and that's where, in other sports are able to during timeouts and whatnot. But no coaching, or there is coaching.
Just not from us.
But not from us. So I can't go over there and tell them, hey, look what you got to do here. But if I could, I would, and just kind of let them know what I'm seeing from this perspective, and I'm not sure if they're seeing that or not. And it's hard when you're playing to see that.
All right, we're back from this jigsaw hydration break. It is 5-2-2. Right now, Navratil and Merchant out in front and seemingly in control of this game 3. Yeah, moving it around a little, so he might have heard you.
Yeah.
They definitely saw what you were seeing, Dom, because that's the most movement we've seen
Without a doubt.
on a dink rally, probably this whole match. So Andrews and Cincola definitely moving that around. Andrews not getting sucked into just between him and Merchant, so just what you wanted. And we have reached 6. Navratil and Merchant currently out in front, 6-2. We're changing ends here in game 3. We'll Dom, I assume you'll want to see Andrews and Cincola continue that.
Yeah,
Gives them a much better chance.
And that was it right there. That point was a little elongated, made for a better point for them. There were some opportunities that were almost there for them to actually get a ball that they wanted. So it was right in between what I was looking for right there, and it was just mixing it up and flattening that ball out and going back and forth. So they more or less got what they wanted in that. Just ended up with the ball in the net from Cincola, but I did like that point a lot better from them there.
All right, we're getting back into it here in Game 3 of this men's pro double quarterfinal match. Navratil and Merchant out in front. Now 7-2. Feeling good. All right. Much needed side out there for Cincola and Andrews. Let's see if they can get something going.
A little confusion in the middle. Andrews saying, yeah, my bad, John. I should have stepped out of your way. That was your forehand. A little awkward forehand from Navratil. Ends up working, though.
Not the first time he's made a hit awkwardly.
No.
Dom.
Won't be the last either.
There's picture proof of his
Yes.
craziness.
That's a good shot
yes.
there from Andrews. He got the mistake from Merchant and was able to make them pay down the middle.
Seven, 2-2.
Oh, it died. So the wind is
Yep.
behind Andrews and Cincola,
Mhm.
and the wind just held that up enough where Andrews was trying to reach that off the
Pulled
edge of
it
the paddle.
just forward. All tough Merchant.
See, Merchant now using the wind to his advantage there. Hit that third into the air and just let the wind knock it down, and they're in control here in Game 3.
I was wondering after Game 1 and 2 kind of went oppositely if somebody was going to run away here in Game 3, and so far Althoff Merchant and Navratil are doing it, so we'll see if they can keep that going or if Andrews and Cincola can make a stand here. Oh, miscommunication. No.
Something just fell off the kitchen can, like the cord was hanging on something that fell down.
Merchant ready for that Ernie from Cincola. All right, 9-1. Navratil and Merchant 2 points away from moving on to the semis.
that awkward forehand from Navratil that works.
He was also like 10 feet in the air when he hit that. And that's match point for Navratil and Merchant here. It was the second hand on that paddle, Dom. It was too much power. Another opportunity here, though. Merchant serving. And with a little behind John Cincola, Navratil gets the job done. So Althoff Merchant, Zane Navratil, moving on to our semifinals. We will have, coming up next, Jocelyn, Devillier, and Patrick Smith taking on J.W. Johnson and Dylan Frazier. Dom's going to pop on over to the studio for I'm sure,
This'll be great.
hilarious chat with Zane and Althoff, and then we'll be right back here on center court for the action. Don't go anywhere.
Okay, guys, I am back in studio with Althoff Merchant and Zane Navratil after their quarterfinal win over John Cincola and Johnny Andrews. Congratulations, boys.
Hey.
Who's Johnny Andrews?
Oh, God. Don't start with me already. We're 5
starting
seconds
hot.
in.
I thought we played Johnny Pickleball.
Oh, yeah, that's the same thing.
Yeah, okay, got
all
it.
right.
Okay, sorry. I mean, for a while, it looked like we were playing 3 guys, so maybe there was Johnny Andrews, Johnny Cincola, and
In
Johnny
the first
Pickleball.
game, it seemed like that, right?
They were just chowing us up in the first game.
Wow, it was a tale of different games going into 2 and 3. But game 1, they controlled pretty much the whole game. What were the changes you made going into game 2 and 3?
Zane and I talk a lot of strategy. It's usually like, let's go, play loose, dink
All day,
better,
all day.
dink better. No, we just felt like we've played those guys a lot of times, and John Cincola is a great player. Zane trains with him all the time, so we know he knows our game, and we just felt like we just felt like we had to get into a 2 or 3 point run because those guys were always leading, and they were up like a game in 4-1, and we just felt like if we can get 2 or 3 points, then the tide would turn, and that's exactly kind of what happened.
Yeah, and if we could get in with like just a little chow, small margin, just get really close in that match from down 4-1, we felt like we could turn it around. So.
No, absolutely. And the matchup that I kind of picked up on that was working for you guys was Andrews and Merchant going cross court. Althoff, you just kind of picked that up, and it kind of set Zane up a little more in the middle there.
Yeah, that matchup works for me 97.3% of the time in pickleball. It doesn't work against Colin Johns. And then who else, Zane?
Nobody.
Pat Smith occasionally, but otherwise
Occasionally.
everybody else, like all day, you know that.
Right.
But actually, the turning point of the match was, if you really go back and watch the feed, the court next door, my boy Brian Pointer was playing a 15 all game, and he won 17-15. The once he got done with the match, I could breathe easy.
You could focus on your game.
I could focus
then.
on my match.
You just weren't focused enough, right?
But hey, listen, those guys played amazing.
Yeah.
We played them in Punta Gorda. It was like 15-2, and they just folded. But today, they took it to us. I mean, they played awesome. John won 90% of the hands battles with me?
He
I
did.
mean, he hit me
He did
3 or 4
early.
times. Yeah.
Yeah, but I think that change up of you sticking with going to Andrews the whole time was working, and it was setting you up, Zane.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, they started to change the pattern a little bit, and Johnny going with his forehand down the line and my backhand kind of opened up the court a bit. So instead of going cross court to cross court a bunch of times, they started switching it up, and then occasionally I was stepping in there. Yeah, I mean, they played very well.
Wait, did he say occasionally stepping in there?
Occasionally. I mean, he hip checked you a couple times off the court.
Yeah,
I mean, it's
I was
fine.
sitting in timeout like 4 times.
I know
Right,
mixed
exactly.
doubles is tomorrow, but when I ask Althoff to take over the court, he sticks that left pinky toe over the center line and calls it a day. So,
Yeah.
I mean,
Well, congrats, boys, on to the semifinals. You get a little break here, so go get hydrated, relax, and
I gotta
hopefully
go
we'll
listen
get
to
you
my
guys-
Selena
definitely-
Gomez remix tape in the car.
He can't
yeah, the
hang
biggest
up on
key
you
is
today,
we're gonna
He
go
can't hang
get
up
some
on me
chow,
anymore.
get some chow in between some points. So
All right,
in between games.
We're gonna take a quick commercial break. We'll be back with our next match.
All right, ciao.
Thanks.